So hi everyone, welcome to Scrap Backwards, week 2 of December, and I actually have no idea what I'm doing here. This week we are doing this case number 375 at CSI, which stands for Colors, Stories, Inspiration, and the cases are presented with a mood board kind of display and a color palette if you want to be inspired by that. You can pick anything from the mood board, like a truck or some pine cones or a deer or something the saying it's the most wonderful time of the year. And it gives you various bits of evidence like polka dots, Christmas-themed elements, snowflakes, truck or other vehicle, yada, yada. We'll go through that as I check through and see what my kit has or what I might have handy in my reachable by my left arm kind of stash. And then there are other ideas for your testimony. There are things about your documentation. So you can document something about Christmas or another winter holiday, different prompt ideas, and their blog post has a list of December prompts. You can tie your journaling with a string or ribbon. You can do a top 10 list. You can use inspiration words like wonderful, merry, and bright. And then there are the RGB codes for your color palette. So, given this, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not going to use this color palette other than I will have a red, I will have a cream, I will have a beige, I will have a gray, and I will have kind of a blue. So it's going to be similar, but it won't be these exact RGB codes. Just to recall, to refresh your memory, this is my sticker sheet. And I'm going to try to use a few more here this time than I did last time. And I'm going to try to kill what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to use some of these rub-ons. And then there's all the other stuff that will go through later looking for things. So just to show you the photo I want to use is this one, which is just an adorable photo, and Katie just absolutely loved it the other day when I sent it to her. It's a picture of John. Katie decided she wanted to get up and walk on the top, along the top of this landscape fence or gate here, a border. And she's wearing a hat with reindeer antlers. And she's just as cute as she can be. I think it's a balloon hat. And so we had been somewhere. There's a restaurant that we really like. The main thing that we like in this particular shopping center is a place called Rita's. It's a frozen custard. And it's like frozen custard. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has tasted frozen custard, but it takes the idea of ice cream to a whole new level. So Rita's is not open in wintertime, so I know we weren't at Rita's because John's got a jacket on. He only would wear that in the wintertime, and that's why she'd be wearing a reindeer hat. But there's a deli there called Brown Bag Deli, and it's one of Katie and Allie's favorite places to go. So we go there as often as we can. And I'm going to say that I was searching through looking for a photo to use, and look at here, the colors in this sheet are what brought me to this photo, because these bricks and the leaves that have fallen on the ground and even this stretch of kind of brown grass there, those colors are all found right in here. So that's an example of working backwards. Don't know what photo to use. What colors do I have here? and what is, you know, just looking through photos, what hit me saying, aha, this would go. So it's kind of a silly thing to do, but I might have let this photo go by without scrapping it if I hadn't kind of been looking for something that went here. So I think it's a win. I have, because I'm going to be inspired by the most wonderful time of the year, I have found in my stash this little tag that says wonderful, and I've curled some twine, and I have no idea how I curled it, but it came out curly, and I think it's as cute as it can be. I have this little acrylic piece that says love, which actually came off of a tassel. I had a tassel like this. This one says today, this one says love. I could put the love on here because that green is a good match for the green in my background. The background paper I'm using is called Arctic Chill by Jackie Eccles, and it's a Fancy Pants 2008 design. And this is the other side of it, and I absolutely love it. Should I use that? I hate to lose this side, but let's pull that picture. Would that picture be cool? Like right smack dab in the middle of there. You know what? I'm going to use this side because the colors work. I've got my little deer. This came on a thank you card. My good friend, Scrappy Adam, who is in this whole scrap backwards thing with me, ordered some things that from companies that don't ship to the UK. So he had them shipped to me, and then I boxed them up, and I'm going to be mailing them to him on Monday. And one of the companies that sent him something, sent him a little thank you for your order, and it had this adorable little deer on it. So I stole it. So Adam, you'll find that out if you watch this video. But if he doesn't watch the video, nobody tell him, okay? So I thought he would look cute on here. And I've got a flair that has exactly the right colors. That's where my gray was going to be introduced. So yeah, let's do this and kind of see where we end up. These things now that I have these colors, there's every kind of red that's in here is in here. If I introduce pink, that's kind of going to be a new thing, but we'll see. Let's cut the branding strip off of this. And I would swear that I had 2 of these sheets. And when I have 2 of the same and it's not part of a collection, I store it in my bin. I store it one side. I would probably have stored this with the reds, just because there's a lot of different, you know, reds in there. And I probably would have stored this with greens. So there may be another one of these in there. So I hope so. Anyway, let's do this. I'm going to put some foam on here. I'm not using a sketch or any other design aid, if you will. I'm just going to make it up as I go along. And I've been doing 12 days of scrap lifts, and I've been doing a lot of sketches lately. So I just thought I'd kind of branch out and do something totally be kind of driven by what's already on there. So I'm gonna, if I put the photo smack in the middle, it's got more of this snowflake over here, but I've covered it up there. If I move it kind of over here, I really get a lot of that snowflake and all of that is still there. So I think I'm going to do that. And then I'll kind of build from there. I do know that I want this little guy kind of right there, like he's looking on at that scene. So I'm going to do some foam out here. I'll kind of do it like that so that his leg perfectly covers up the border of the photo. Okay, now I want one of these strips. There are border strips here. Well, actually, let's go back to this. Instead of my main one, I'm going to take this star and see if I can do something with it that, you know, that green is totally out of place on there, and I've got other layouts, so I'm going to put that back. I'm going to skip that sheet for today, and we're going to go back to this one. Now, I'm going to take this piece of border strip and run it. If I do it like that, it kind of gets lost, right? Maybe if I do it this way, it doesn't get lost. So let's turn this. And I've already glued that down, but it's not down there so solidly that I can't do this. Let's do that and kind of, okay. So that gives me, and this kind of provides me a little bit of a background to embellish from. This almost needs to go overlapping that with a piece of foam kind of, it doesn't matter because this doesn't have a design that has a face on it, if you will. And look how pretty that blue is going to look because there's this other blue there. That's going to be cute. Okay. So that's, come on. I put it on wrong so that the foam hit the photo and not the outside there. Okay, there we go. And now we've got this acrylic love. And I'm going to put that on with a little bit of liquid glue. And then we'll figure out some way to maybe layer something on top of it. Okay, and you can kind of read that word love there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is cut some foam for this wonderful tag. I'm going to actually maybe put it up there, here maybe. How about that? And that kind of stays on the page and everything's kind of clustering around there. Now let's see what else we can use on here. I like the fact that we have all these ornaments. I can do, let's do 3 ornaments in different shapes. And we'll kind of place them on top of, okay, and I need to cut the foam pieces in the right shape and size. This one would be nice on here. And where shall we put this one? I know I want them on this axis, like, oh, how about there is one of the things there is to hang things. So how about we put them along here, and I'll use some of that same twine, which is right here with my Rosie's Studio tags. And I'll run a little bit of twine up, or I'll tie a little bow. So there, for that one. And there's, as you can see, there's no, I'm not really working with any cohesive design other than I'm trying to draw your eye to the photo. So those are kind of evenly spaced, but it's going to look like they're hanging at different lengths because the shapes are different. Okay, now let me get the twine and see. There it is. It's a very thin jute twine that I think I can use just like that. Actually, let me just make some bows. And it won't look like they're hanging, but we might be getting a little too literal with that. I'm going to do one, and then I'll do the others off camera so that you don't have to suffer through my terrible lack of bow making skills. Okay, so here's one, and it can go right there. And then I could actually do one of the straight little bits, like right across there, and do this. Just have them all kind of looking and hanging a little differently, or with using the jute a little differently. I'm going to take that off for now because it's hard to work on this while that's in place. Let me get my tweezy poker thingies. It wants to stay curled, so why not curl it? I'll just curl it down, kind of like that. There we go. Let me bring it in. Okay, let me get this. I'll tie the bow a little smaller and cut some of the ends off just to make it a little easier to see everything that's on there. Okay, there, and that's good. Now here, I'll do another one. And I said I wasn't going to make you suffer through this. But I just kind of I want to see what that looks like in the total composition before doing the next thing. And the next thing may involve, I've got twine here, and then I'll have it up here, so I may not need any on there, but then I need to figure out what I do need on there. And it might be a sticker from the set. Okay, there we go. Those will dry in a little bit, and now I'm going to turn back this way, and I'm going to see if we have any kind of sticker that would be, there's another ornament there. There's some flowers, and they're mittens. How about we layer up those mittens on top of the flair. Okay, they don't, I'll put one behind and down, the other on top. Okay, that seems to work. And we have a blue snowflake sticker. There's also a house. That would kind of get lost because of the similarity in the colors. So I'm not going to use that there. Now I'm going to kind of go for things that will show up. So I'm having trouble with the snowflake coming up. I don't want to break any of the little arms off of it. And I thought maybe I'm going to put it here in this field of blue, but that's where it makes sense for it to go. It could maybe go here. Let me put some foam behind it, and I'm actually going to maybe do it right up here where we kind of have your eye cascading down from here over to that and then down to here. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. I've got that. I've got this greenhouse that I'm not terribly, there are a couple candies. Here's a couple wrapped candies, and they might look cute, kind of layered around this guy like so. I don't like that. I'd like to use both of them, but I think I'll just use one. And I'm going to put some, actually no, I'm just going to put some glue and kind of layer it under there. So it just has a little bit different shape. What I don't want to do with this candy piece, or with this series for that matter, is just use things for the sake of using them. I'd like for them to be something that we would use we'd want to use anyway. Most everything else on here is larger than what I might need. But I do want something down here. So maybe here's where I will pull a flare, a small flare, and I had some out. I don't know where they are. I have this blue one. It's maybe the wrong color blue, but I bet I have the right color blue in here somewhere. There's this blue that has little plus signs, and it might be cute. Kind of right in there. Oh, I like that. It makes this a complete little cluster there. It has these little elements. Let me lift that up. I'm kind of getting to the point where, because I use this busy side of the paper, it's doing a lot of the work for the design. So I'm kind of thinking major design elements, I may be pretty close to done. I want to maybe do something else up in here, but let's read the list of the clues and see if we can use any of these rub-ons, or if there's anything else that we want to add. Okay, so polka dots. Do we have polka dots on here? We have things that kind of look like polka dots, but I tell you what we do have. Didn't see any polka dots. There is a polka dotted tree right here in these rub-ons. So how about I pull that rub-on of the polka dotted tree. I'm just going to kind of cut it out away from the rest of the rub-ons. Lay that aside. Pull the backing off. And I thought I could just put it right here on the photo. That's a kind of a sidewalk view right there. Nothing, we're not covering up anything important in the photo. And it just kind of adds a cute little element there. How cool is that? And so this is the great thing about challenges. It kind of pushes you to use things in a different way. Okay, polka dots. Christmas themed elements, not a problem. Snowflakes, we've got snowflakes. Truck or other vehicle. And I looked through my the rub-ons and everything I had in my kit, and I didn't see any vehicles. Let's see, I have another sticker sheet right here. No vehicles. I see no vehicles. And I'm not inclined to go hunt for one. I don't think it's necessary here. Oh, you know what? There's a truck. There are trucks back here in the parking lot. So Done. We've got that one covered. Metallic elements. I do not have anything metallic on here at the moment, but what I do have that contains metal, I have some metallic here we go. These are what I'm looking for, but I know I have an open pack somewhere. I need to go through this and really sort things out and maybe separate. And okay, let's go with these. These are little tiny gold metallic bits of bling, and we don't need much. This is not a sparkly kind of page, so these little bits of sparkle will stand out. I'm going to put just a few around, and that will kind of give us a little bit of shine. Could have used metallic finish sequins too, and I'm going to do them around the photo cluster and not necessarily up in here. Okay, what else do we need? Gosh, I have a lot of sequin trash here on my table, which thankfully you can't see in that view, because I'm making more of a mess cleaning it up than I made spilling it. Okay, next up, let me put the lid on the glue. Pine cones, holly, or other winter plants. Okay, do we have any holly in here? Do I even see any? I don't see any in the rub-ons. Is there any hot? There's some, there's this cute little floral cluster right here that I could maybe put right there. Let me cut it and try it. Yeah, I think that's going to be cute, so let me fussy cut it. And I will save that because it will work as a label or a tab or something. So I'm going to cut this very roughly, and it's not exactly poinsettias or holly or anything, although it kind of evokes that winter Christmassy plant sort of feel. So I'm going to do some foam under it, and it provides a little bit different color accent, if you will, kind of right in that area. Do I overlap the photo? Yeah, I kind of like it overlapping the photo. I find lots of times when you overlap embellishments around a photo, it draws your eye to the subjects in the photo. So, Christmas ornaments and baubles, we've got those. Mesh and ribbon. I'm going to call the twine ribbon. I have this mesh that I started to use on a project that I did live the other day, and I ended up not using it, but the color would be good for this layout. So I just cut a little piece of it, and I thought I could kind of layer it under there. That means I'm going to take this back off, layer this down in there, and then I'm going to put this on, and that will kind of hold that in place. Now I have a little bit that's sticking out beyond this side of the photo. So I'm going to cut that off. I wouldn't have to do that, but and I wish I had not decided. In fact, I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to do that. Actually, I do, but I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Now, I'll pull that up and put that down. That's just a little extra texture there, and this isn't staying glued because I've kind of moved it around a little too much, but we're fixing to leave it alone a bit. Okay. Hang things, we've got there. Shiny things, well, our metallic elements are shiny. Deer, we've got the deer. Puffy stickers. I don't have any puffy stickers in my kit. And on the table, well, I do have a puffy sticker on the table. So do I maybe want to use it there? Or maybe that's on top of that. Okay, it could go between the two flares. Why not? I had this out to use in my live the other day, so I'm just putting a little glue on the back, and I'll kind of slide that under there. I moved my acrylic piece again. And that, it's a planter, which kind of looks like because she's actually walking on top of what is basically a planter. So that's not too far off base. Stitching, there's no stitching, never will be. Grid composition, well, that's not what we've done here. Phrase stickers and cut apart cards. There will not be any cut apart cards, but I do have some phrase stickers that might work. There's this one that says memories, and it might be cute right there on top of the netting or mesh, I guess we're calling it. Let me put some glue on it. It actually probably would be better with some foam tape, but I think this will work. I'll kind of layer it under there, and if that doesn't stick after we stop filming, I'll put it on the photo. So there's that one. I've got this one usually has some things I I love. Find joy in the ordinary, be brave in your life, choose happiness, focus on the good, which today is important. Believe in the magic. Don't forget to fly. That's something that John would have wanted to say to Katie. It's what he wants for her is for her to just take off and fly and be great. We were decorating the tree today, and there's an ornament that has a picture of John holding Katie, and it was her first Christmas, and I was kind of reminding her that she was the first baby he had ever held. He didn't have any kids of his own. He was single when we married, and James was not a baby. He was 6 when John and I got together, and so he had to wait for grandkids to hold a baby, and he absolutely fell in love. So I think I'm done. This is a strange little page with some elements that are not dry yet, with some disparate elements, but I've managed to use the ornaments, the gloves. Haven't used this flower yet. I'm kind of curious. I used a piece of candy too down here. Not quite sure how I'm going to use this. I can see it maybe overlapping a photo with where there's not anything over in this side. But this was fun. Thank you for joining me, and go out there and find something to scrap backwards with. And thank you all so much for joining in and for having so much fun and for making it so much fun for Adam and me and everybody else. It's just a blast. It's just one of the most fun groups of people out there, and it's all positive and all happy, and so thank you all for that. That's all because of you. So I'm gonna shut down the video so you'll see my finger heading up there.